And now, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Penk's Radio Nightmares.
Yes, indeed. Hi, this is Steve Penk, and welcome to more Radio Nightmares, a selection of brilliant unscripted moments that are often better than the actual programme itself. Those wonderful bits of radio that go slightly wrong. Even the people who sing the jingles don't always get it right first time.
Links FM 102.2.
Oh shit, 106.2.
From the harbor to the wash.
Oops, but you can always rely on the news team to get it right.
And Transport for London's apologised after hundreds of tube passengers were stuck in a tube tunnel for almost 2 years. 2 hours, I should say. London's weather skies will become clear.
And with resplendent new hairdo.
Well, I just, had a bit of a blow job. a blow dry, a wash and blow dry today, because I had an important meeting, so I thought I ought to get it, looking good.
Well, you've deported yourself perfectly today.
Yes,
I'm sure it's all paid off handsomely.
I'm going to do the traffic news now. M66 southbound going towards...
When he came through the shop, what happened?
I was standing outside the door. Next minute, the man come rushing through, shoved me in the back. I went out toward the gutter, and I screamed.
What did you say?
Shit!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Penk's Radio Nightmares.
Oh yeah.
Was anyone with you?
No, I was sitting on my own.
Mind you, is anybody hurt there? I beg your pardon?
Put that in your ass.
You rude old man.
I am a rude old man because you are an inquisitive old bastard.
Would you say that again? I don't think anyone heard you.
Well, I'm just telling you now.
Try again, will you?
Go and get fucked.
I'll punch you right up the fucking arse,
you will you?
Cunt. Yeah.
Well, just give you a backhander in front of these people to let you know if you want to.
Would you?
My word, I would.
You do all I want.
In another incident, a youth fell off the roof of a telephone booth and landed on top of a policeman. Police say that nobody was seriously hurt in the demonstration.
The United States Secret Service has charged a California University employee with printing more than $4 million in bogus $20 and $50 bills. The money was due to go into circulation when the Secret Service broke up the 7-man counterfeiting ring. The small South Pacific kingdom of Tonga will crown its monarch tomorrow in a ceremony following the royal traditions of England and the ancient customs, feasting and dancing of Polynesia. King Taufa King Taufa Ahautu-Pou, who stands 6'4" and weighs 21 stone, will don his coronation robes.
The fortune of naval chaplains has fluctuated.
Strong and gusty cold southwest winds developing overnight. One developing then too. Chance of hail with the change. Scattered showers after the change. The outlook Tuesday, winds moderating. Riverina and MIA. Sorry about that. Cold, gusty southwest winds with scattered showers. Outlook Tuesday, winds slowly moderating. Upper western, cold, gusty southwest winds becoming general. Showers developing ahead of the change and becoming isolated after it. And the lower western, showers becoming scattered. Cold and strong southwest winds.
What do bees collect?
Honey.
They don't collect.
Oh, no, they make honey.
Come on, they don't collect. Come on.
Wax. It's pollen. This is doing me laughing. It's pollen. It's not telling me what to say and I'm making a prat in his head.
Well, you are. Stop listening to it.
Pollen.
No.
No. Nectar.
Correct. Right. Red or black?
Black.
I can't say much more of this. Black. Oh, it is as well. Black 6. Black 6 is a 30-seconder.
Oh, no. God.
Okay, in 30 seconds, you've got to come up with 10 soaps. And your time starts now.
Palmolive. Come here. Berry.
No, hang on, no, hang on. Hang on. I meant TV soaps.
Explain yourself.
Palmolive. Right. Start again.
EastEnders, Brookside, Crossroads.
Yeah, go on.
Hello.
Hello, William. Happy New Year to you.
Hiya.
What's your point, mate?
There's 2 points I'd like to make about Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
He played for Newcastle United, quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise how good he was.
Oh, you're missing him. You're missing him clearly, based on what you got now.
God, he scored so many goals.
Tell us the story about the stick in your knickers.
Oh, yeah. That was terrible, that was. Do you know, I was broken in by a stick. We were all sitting down in the field playing, and this little boy poked me with a stick up my minge. Oh, it did hurt.
Oh, Rosie,
it did hurt.
there are many a word you could use instead of that one, but basically, listen, Rosie, I think that you've been through an awful lot, and you've been through an awful lot of grief in the last few months as well, sweetheart, but you are laughing, and I'm sure that inside, obviously, things are still hurting for you, my darling, but thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, Rosie, and we must apologise for the use of that word. No, not again. All right, okay.
Mellow Magic, it's Thursday evening. What are you doing right now? Are you cooking? Have you just started a shift? Are you just finishing a shift? Or even a shift? Are you driving somewhere? Are you en route somewhere? Are you on your way home? Whatever your reason for listening, you're very welcome here.
Now then, Janet, I'm told you're not a big fan of Richard Madeley.
No, that's why I want to try and get out off the radio.
Right, well, big drum roll then. It's all down to you, Janet. Have you got the right answer?
Hope so.
What do you reckon?
Train of thought.
Train.
I've discovered if I kind of write more patchily and more slowly, I kind of lose my...
It's not train, I'm afraid.
Bloody old dickhead he is.
Thank you very much, Janet.
This is it. This is what we've been waiting for. The battle has been on between Sam Bailey and Pharrell Williams to be crowned the Vodafone Big Top 40 Christmas number 1.
Okay, well, we're up to number 2. And it's one of these. New entry. It's Sam Bailey. Yeah! That's amazing. Let's play the single then. Will you introduce it for us?
Hi, this is Sam Bailey. This is the Christmas number 1. This is Skyscraper on the Vodafone Big Top 40. 2.
Skies are crying. I am watching.
Here's BBC Radio 2, online, on digital radio, and 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 11 o'clock. This is Claire Runacres. NHS England says thousands of patients may have come to harm because of an administrative mix-up. About 500,000 documents containing medical information were mistakenly put in storage rather than being sent to GPs or filed in the patient's records.
You are listening to Steve Penk's Radio Nightmares.
Hello, you're on the air. The March Wellington, which reputedly marks the steadiness with which the Gloucestershire Regiment served Wellington during the Napoleonic Wars, and which tonight marks the end of the first programme in a new series of On Parade. I hope you've enjoyed seeing us back with you on Thursday evenings as much as we've been with you. That's absolute rubbish!
And from high camp to base camp and off to the South Pole in a new novel from Beryl Bainbridge, based on Robert Falcon Scott's tragic mission. And if that isn't gloomy enough, Wangford's here in the studio to perform the winning entry in our country and western sad song competition. Hank, did your soul bleed?
Luckily, your intro cheered me up. There's a cricket match going on, several cricket matches going on Boxing Day, and there's cheese rolling and Dwyle flonking and all the things that make Britain great, or even Britain great.
And Mark Lawson of The Independent is back from the election trail. A little fun. After that, I think I better stop now when I'm behind.
You're only likely to get that support if you don't continue to flaunt your homosexuality and thrust it down other people's throats.
Well, thank you very much. I'm obviously very honoured and privileged to be the first friend of the Cox, although I think it's a misstatement, because all over Britain there are millions of friends and admirers of the Cox, And I'm sure that in the years to come, it won't only be in this country, but also in Europe and elsewhere, that people will benefit from this juicy, succulent, crunchy apple.
Independent Radio News, it's 3 minutes past 2.
Let's bring in our correspondent from Moscow now, Nick Worrell. Good evening, Nick.
Hello, Chris.
The situation in Georgia does seem to be getting fairly serious tonight. Do you think it is a last stand there by the president?
Yes, it is a very serious situation, especially for President Gapsakhudia. He's a very unpopular man now with a very large section of the Georgian population, and one has to say he's probably brought it upon himself. And it'll be interesting to see whether he can calm them down enough to survive as a political leader. The signs of the moment are that that'll be rather difficult.
Nick, sorry, I've got to cut into your conversation there, Nick, because we're getting a problem on the sound quality there from your report from Moscow, so we'll try and speak to you a little bit later, Nick, okay?
Okay, fine.
Steve Penk's Radio Nightmares.
Wow. So that's your lot for this episode of Radio Nightmares. Don't forget to hit subscribe and do get in touch if you have a radio nightmare. I'd love to hear it. Email radionightmares@gmail.com. That's radionightmares@gmail.com. And I'll leave you with this from John Marsh on Radio 2. He's live and having a technical radio nightmare. He also sounds like he's in a tunnel instead of the studio that he's actually in.
BBC News at 5 o'clock. Good morning, this is John Marsh. David Cameron will today set out his plans for what he calls the Big Society. He'll promise to let communities and voluntary groups run some public services such as bus routes or the delivery of broadband. 4 areas of England have been chosen to receive help with projects: Liverpool, Eden Valley in Cumbria, Windsor and Maidenhead in Berkshire, and the London Borough of Sutton. The United States government has ordered BP to draw up plans for reopening a cap on the broken oil well in the Gulf of Mexico. The cap has stopped the flow of oil into the sea, but signs of methane gas have been detected. Just give me a moment, if you would, and we'll carry on. Some people who were on holiday when the tour operator Gold Trail collapsed say they're being forced to pay for their accommodation twice. The Civil Aviation Authority says it's doing all it can to fly home those left stranded in Greece and Turkey. Kenneth Ogilvie from Ayrshire says at his hotel in Marmaris, people are being intimidated. And I beg your pardon, that's not exactly right either. This is all very strange. If you give me 1 moment, we'll see if we can actually get things right. Here we are. I'm not sure that's right either. No, I don't think it is. I do beg your pardon. We'll move on.
You don't seem to be having a very good time of it. What's going on?
We were hoping to play you a clip just then, but it didn't seem to fit with what I was talking about. So give me a moment and we'll just carry on and ignore all the inserts if we may.
I can start and then you could come back to it.
No.
All right.
Fine. A protest against the cancellation of school rebuilding projects in England will take place at Westminster today. The Save Our Schools rally is being organised by trade unions and will be joined by teachers and pupils. The government announced the cancellation of projects at more than 700 schools earlier this month. And I've just realised what's happened now. I think we should be back on course very shortly. Yes, here we go. No, we don't. We'll carry on again. Government advisers have been calling for public funding for low-carbon technology to be protected to ensure the United Kingdom meets its target to reduce greenhouse gases. The demand has come from the Committee on Climate Change. Oh, I do think we're going to have the right thing. Our environment correspondent, Jeremy Cook, hopefully, will now report. Or maybe he won't. This is going very well.
Can I suggest that you go back to the hotel room, get into bed, suck your thumb, and then nothing will happen?
I've got one more little thing I would like to tell you before we start, if I may, which is actually a serious story. At least 49 people have died in a train accident in India. Around 100 others were injured. The accident happened around 125 miles north of Calcutta when an express service hit a stationary train at a station. The last of 250 First World War soldiers whose bodies were recovered from mass graves in northern France last year will be buried today with full military honours. The burial marks the official opening of the Commonwealth Cemetery in Fromelles. Prince Charles will attend the ceremony. And the weather? This really will happen. There'll be rain across northern England, Northern Ireland and southern Scotland today, reaching South Wales and southwest England this evening. Southeast England should stay dry with temperatures reaching 28 Celsius in East Anglia. That's the BBC News, such as it was.
It was very
4 minutes
impressive.
past 5. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun?
You don't need that at this time of the morning, but of course no one's listening.
Steve Penk's Radio Nightmares.